What's up everyone, Toad Tactical here. Today we're showcasing a team with the DEOXYS Safe Swap. Of course, the DEOXYS Safe Swap really isn't anything that special, but I haven't used it in a long time. It used to be one of my favorite safe swaps in Season 1 and Season 2 and preseason, but then Sablei's popularity grew, especially Sableye in the back, and that just completely shuts down the DEOXYS Safe Swap. And it also caused me to not want to run it anymore. But today I bring it back because I noticed that Sablei's popularity is slowly declining now. I think that's because of an increase in Charmers in the back, and also because of an increase in Dark types right before the Charmers arrived, basically, which kind of like drived Sableye kind of out of the meta. So I thought perfect time to bring out the DEOXYS again. I'm bringing it with Umbreon lead. I think Umbreon in the lead is pretty good because currently there are quite a lot of double charm teams around, but they're all in the back usually. So Umbreon lead is nice, and Umbreon DEOXYS score is very solid. There's not much in the game that can take out both, except for like a Togekiss, for example. Then in the back I have Venusaur, which I really like in the current meta. There are a lot of double charm teams around, and Venusaur destroys charm. There are also a lot of double water teams around, and of course Venusaur destroys water. And it is also like a good generalist, good against the other grasses, which Umbreon and DEOXYS also kind of struggle with. So I really like it for those matchups. In this match, I led my Umbreon into a jump bluff, and then he swapped in his Stunfisk. This is a really cool double tank team my opponent is running, but my squad fares up really well against it. This team ended up working pretty alright for me. I think I kind of went even in the day I used it. But I did have a lot of laggy matches. Unfortunately, the game really wasn't working as intended. But it still was a pretty fun team. I did end up making quite a few mistakes, and I think we're gonna see a couple of those in these matches. Anyway, Altaria into Umbreon lead. This is a good lead. This is exactly where I want to see the Altaria, because Umbreon is my hardest flying answer. Umbreon takes Altaria out in pretty much all equal shield scenarios. So this is really nice. DEOXYS can also kind of deal with Altaria, but it needs a slight energy advantage to be able to beat it to the Rock Slides. I'm running Rock Slide Thunderbolt on my DEOXYS, by the way. I think in this team that's important, just because you want the Rock Slides for Altaria and also to bait other flying types like Skarmory. And you want the Thunderbolt for Azumarill. That's mainly why you would want it. Alright, so as you can see, I'm taking out this Altaria Snarl down. I have a foul play ready. He brings in his Jugong. So this is really good for me. I just stay in here, throw on foul play. DEOXYS is a really good answer here. I'd rather, with two shields up, Venusaur still wins. But the matchup is really close because the Ice Shards add up. So I just let my Umbreon go to make sure I get my DEOXYS lined up against this thing. He decides to stay in. I'm just gonna throw the Rock Slide right before he gets to another Icy Wind, because these Icy Winds do add up. Jugong, even though taking super effective damage from all of DEOXYS' moves, still a pretty close matchup with DEOXYS, just because the counters are not stab, and Jugong is so tanky, and the Icy Wind debuff is just so strong. I get to another Rock Slide. Is my opponent gonna let this go? He does. What is there in the back? It's Ferrothorn, not amazing. But Venusaur, if this Ferrothorn isn't running Flash Cannon, Venusaur is a pretty alright matchup. You want to throw Sludge Bomb here, by the way. That's a mistake I've seen a lot of players make. They're throwing Frenzy Plant, but Frenzy Plant is double resisted. And Sludge Bomb is only single resisted, because the Steel typing of Ferrothorn has a double resistance against Poison, but the Grass type is like on grass, poison is single super effective. Wow, that was hard to say. So that equals a net single resisted Sludge Bomb on Ferrothorn, basically, while Frenzy is double resisted again. So throwing Sludge Bomb here is the play. As you can see, we get really close. This Ferrothorn luckily didn't pack Flash Cannon, which is just great for me. I threw a Sludge Bomb right there. I probably could have gotten away with throwing a Frenzy Plant from that range. You would have definitely KO'd. But still, I can just counter this down with DEOXYS. He did a really good job overcharging there, but it's not enough because I can still counter him down. It's a good game. Alright, this is the most amazing lead I can see. My backline really doesn't want to see this. I'm just going to throw foul play right away because I'm expecting him to debuff and then dip, but I want to hit this damage on the Drifblim before he's able to get out. He might even have to use his shield right here, which he does, and then he gets out into DEOXYS, which is interesting because normally Umbreon beats DEOXYS, but with the attack debuff, might not. So I swap out here into my own DEOXYS. I could have swapped into Venusaur as well, but I'm scared of the Psycho boost. And seeing as he's throwing Thunderbolts right here, I think it's very likely he's also running a Psycho boost alongside his Thunderbolt. Just because normally DEOXYS would throw Rock Slides there. Right there, I threw Rock Slide. I should have thrown Thunderbolt. Rock Slide is more energy efficient, but Thunderbolt does slightly more damage. If I would have thrown a Thunderbolt, I would have been able to farm down. And I would have had energy stored up for the Drifblim. And now I'm energy dry, and this Drifblim can farm me all the way down. Luckily I have Umbreon, which is pretty much the hardest counter to Drifblim in the back. Brings in Registeel. This is tough, because Registeel beats both Umbreon and Venusaur, but I swap in my Venusaur anyway. Venusaur is a better matchup versus Registeel than it does versus Drifblim. So I bring it out right here, and these Frenzy Plants really start to add up on Registeel. Registeel's gonna have to throw two charge moves at my Venusaur, and if I shoot one, he's gonna have to throw 3, of course. And in that span, I can get off like 4 Frenzy Plants. And as you can see, these Frenzy Plants are really starting to add up. I only need 1 more to KO, pretty much. So I am looking really good there. Throw this third Frenzy Plant before his switch timer comes up. I'm expecting a swap any second now, so I gotta be ready. There it is. I swap into my Umbreon, and I'm just gonna try to go for the foul place right away. Get off the guts of another Icy Wind, that's fine. But for another Icy Wind, I'm getting really debuffed now. So this is looking like it's gonna be kind of close. Especially, he might get another Icy Wind before I get to my second foul play. This one is only gonna take 3 snarls though, so I think, yeah, he does outpace me. This still does KO though, and I already pressed my move, but since I'm triple debuffed, I don't think this will KO anymore. Right? No, 1 HP, kind of worrying. I bring in Venusaur, I catch a Flash Cannon, which I'll have to shield, of course. Both my Pokemon very low HP. Go for the Frenzy. The clock is also going down. So this is like a really long match because of all the debuffs. There we go. That's a good game. Vine up down the Drifblim. Very nice. Alright, Umbreon into Ninetales. If it's Charm, this is decent for my team. If it's Powder Snow, yeah, this is probably the worst lead I can see. Powder Snow, Ninetales, even though it isn't hitting for super effective on Umbreon, still resists pretty much all the moves except for Last Resort, which is generally a pretty weak move. So it beats Umbreon quite hard, and it also destroys Venusaur. So I'm not in a great spot here. I swap in DEOXYS, and I'm hoping to burn shields right here. If I can burn shields with DEOXYS, 1 Frenzy Plant from Venusaur will kill the Ninetales. Brings in his Politoed right here. And I can tank 1 Weather Ball. And I'm really hoping he uses a shield right there. Like, Switch Advantage is no use to me here. I just want to take shields. Does he shield? No, very smart play for my opponent. My opponent is FP6, by the way. You probably all know him, another amazing content creator. And really good battler. Brings in the Ninetales again at this point. I'm just... this game is pretty much over. I think he's probably running Dazzling Gleam. Most lead a lot of Ninetales run Dazzling Gleam, but I'm gonna have to let it go anyway. Like, Venusaur without shields is usually not that great, especially versus another water type, which I was expecting. I know FP6 likes his double weakness teams. I throw the Last Resort there. Yeah, I shouldn't have, but you know, I knew the game was over anyway. At this point, I was just mindlessly tapping my screen. I just let this go as well. If it's a Weather Ball, I mean, I still would not have gotten to the Frenzy probably. So yeah, this game is very much over. Let this go as well. Yeah, a lot of Ninetales, really tough. I think if it had been Charm Ninetales, it's easier, even though it's harder a loss versus for Umbreon, of course. But Venusaur just destroys that. So GG to FP Sticks there. All right, this is why I built this team. Obstagoon lead, not good. But the thing is, a lot of Obstagoon leads nowadays come with double Charm in the back. Swap in my DEOXYS and it brings in Ninetales. This is looking quite nice. If it's really double Charm, I'm in a pretty good spot. That's also what I'm predicting. So if I take out this Ninetales, or if this Ninetales takes me out, I will probably... oh yeah, I just double shield right here. DEOXYS wins the one shield versus most Charmers, but it usually loses the two shields. What does he bring in? Probably the Obstagoon again. I'm just gonna Thunderbolt. I knew I could survive one counter, so it was safe to go for a Thunderbolt. And I'm expecting double Charmer. So even though Venusaur's a really good matchup here, I'm gonna bring in my Umbreon, and it is double Charmer. Whimsicott comes out, and all I have to do is go for the double Sludge Bomb right here. The only way to lose this matchup is if I Frenzy Plant and he no shields. And my opponent's no set. He recognized that his only win con was a no shielding that move, because double Sludge Bomb would have lost him the game, and that's why I went for it. But if I had Frenzy Plant there, he would have won. So yeah, this is a good play by my opponent, but luckily for me, I did the right play, and we won that match. All right, we face a Marowak lead, which is really good. He brings in Abomasnow, which is very interesting. He throws one Weather Ball, and here I make a mistake. I should have thrown the Rock Slide before he got to his Weather Ball. Now I'm very low, and I kind of want switch. I have Venusaur, which is not great for Marowak, of course. He shields, and I throw another Rock Slide, and he shields again. And at this point, he can just farm me all the way down. That's a mistake for me right there. I could have also decided to spend a shield on that second Weather Ball, but then I would have been a shield down, which I also don't really enjoy. He gets off two moves right here. It's kind of bad. Still though, Venusaur with two shields advantage beats Marowak, so I think I'm still in a decent spot here. I'm expecting an Azumarill on the back. It's very common. That is the Azumarill. I come in Venusaur. Again, Venusaur with two shields advantage wins versus Marowak, and the Azumarill only got one bubble in, which means he's 4 away from Ice Beam, which means I outpaced the Frenzy Plant. I can probably go kill those Marowak right here and then Frenzy Plant Azumarill to take the win, but we lag and my opponent gets a third shield. Very unfortunate. This game is now over. I'm just gonna let it go. And as you can see, this Frenzy Plant will do a lot. If I would have gotten my Frenzy Plant through first, I would have definitely taken this match. But yeah, Go Battle League decided no. Unfortunately, I had a lot of laggy matches this day, which was kind of a bummer, but I also had some good ones. All right, the Kanto Ninetales lead. This is all right. I have to stay in there, of course. I don't want my Venusaur matched up against this. I can tank these Weather Balls fine, because Umbreon is just a massive tank, of course. Shoot for my opponent. I can tank another one of these. I really only have to worry about a potential overheat, but my opponent is not charging up to it right now. I can still outpace. Yeah, I get to the third foul play right now. Opponent has to shield or let the Ninetales go. Decides to shield. I'm 2 shields up. My opponent really likes switch advantage in this match, which makes me think if my opponent really wants switch advantage, I think it's important to not give it. So I use my shield right there in order to retain switch advantage right here. He brings in Hypno, which is bad. That's very bad. Because I have DEOXYS and Venusaur, which both lose to Hypno if the Hypno has Shadow Ball. That's important. DEOXYS can win versus Double Punch Hypno, but not versus Shadow Ball Hypno, and it is the Shadow Ball Hypno. But reaching Cresselia with Psycho Cut. And seeing as he led with Ninetales, I'm expecting this to be a Grass Knot Moonblast Cresselia, because you need that for Azumarill and water coverage, basically. And against that moveset of Cresselia, Venusaur has a good matchup because he resists all the charge moves. I'm shooting this Moonblast right here because it would almost KO me. and I'm over farming. I really want to just build up to 2 Frenzy Plants. He gets a defense drop right there, which is pretty bad. Or no, it's an attack drop, of course. This attack drop kind of forces me to swap out right here. I have a Frenzy Plant ready. Now win CMP versus Hypno. So I'm swapping out right here to clear the debuff. And now I can get off Rock Slides versus the Hypno. This Hypno knows in order to win, he has to farm down. Because my opponent knows that I'm either very close to the Frenzy or at the move. So this is really his only win con. Rock Slide's already again really low, but I have a Frenzy Plant to win CMP and take out the Hypno. That's a very good game. Alright, channel Abomasnow to Umbreon. It's a very neutral match. If the Abomasnow hits me with an energy ball, I'm pretty sure I lose this matchup. Let's see how my opponent plays it though. Usually I don't shoot the first move because there's always a chance of an energy ball debuff if they throw it, and I don't wanna shield an energy ball, get debuffed, and then have to shoot the next move. Well, he goes to Swampert, and I have a perfect answer to this in Venusaur. This is Shadow Swampert, and I think this is the first time I've really played out this matchup. As you can see, this Hydro Cannon does so much, and I'm pretty sure if I take this second Hydro Cannon, I will lose switch advantage, and I think switch advantage is kind of important. I want my DEOXYS versus the Abomasnow, and I know I win CMP here. And I can take out this Abomasnow or burn a shield if it comes back in. I go for the Sludge. I should have just gone Frenzy, but it's alright. It's not that much of an energy difference. Yeah, we CMP tie. That's really good. I'm gonna bring in my DEOXYS right here to farm down the Abomasnow. Good. I can counter through right there. It's quite nice. But this is, I think it's Energy Ball. Oh, it's a Weather Ball. Still does quite a bit of damage. Brings in Mentebuzz, and I throw the Thunderbolt right here. I saw the flying typing, and I thought Skarmory, because that's pretty common team. But it's Mentebuzz. I should have just thrown Rock Slide. Would have been a way better play. I go into Umbreon right there. I was hoping to catch a foul play, but opponent was very smart and hold off on throwing his move. I throw Last Resort right there. And it's a little lag. Oh, it's just a little delay. That's alright. This is one of the most boring matchups in the game. But we're gonna have to play it out. He goes for the aerial ace. Umbreon is already quite low. And I overtapped right there. I want to throw right away because I wasn't expecting him to sex swap right away. But I overtapped and he makes a very nice sex swap. That's very, very well played by my opponent. I let this go. I do. I need to save shields for my DEOXYS. But he has another one. Very, very good energy management by my opponent right there. Throws a foul play. I can't make it to Rock Slide, so I'm gonna have to hope this Thunderbolt KOs. But Mentebuzz is such a tank that I'm guessing it will not. No, and I barely takes the win. Man, I definitely misplayed this matchup. I should have thrown my foul play at a more appropriate time. And I should have just thrown Rock Slides at the Mentebuzz. But that happens. Well played by my opponent there. GG. Alright, another Stunfisk lead into a Wigglytuff. Interesting. I have a perfect answer for this in the back. I count up to 9. He's currently at his 9th charm. It takes 10 for Play Rough. So I throw right away. He shields, hoping to get to the Ice Beam. But I get to a Sludge Bomb during his 10th charm. He's gonna have to shield this if he wants to get off his Ice Beam, but he thinks it's not worth it. And lets it go. Now I'm at a shield advantage and switch advantage. But still, my Venusaur alive. I'm looking really, really good right now. I'm curious to see what he has in the back though. Will this be another Charmer line? Double Charmer line? I really enjoy that because my team, of course, is built to destroy them. Alright. Stunfisk. Throwing a Rock Slide right here. Because it would KO the Venusaur. I go into my Umbreon right here. And in comes Whimsicott, which is probably the worst Charmer DEOXYS can see. You know, you have Wigglytuff, which takes neutral counter damage. You have Togekiss, which takes super effective Rock Slide damage, and then also Ninetales, which takes super effective Rock Slide damage and neutral counter damage. But Whimsicott resists the counters, and the Rock Slide is only neutral, which means that like one of them won't even bring it close to KOing, and he can't really farm down with counters because it don't really do any meaningful damage. It's like the only Charmer that beats DEOXYS once, which is quite bad. Luckily I have some energy here though, so I can go for the Last Resort. I didn't know if foul play would KO. I think it would have, but I decided to play it safe with the last resort, which did mean I had to shield a grass knot right there. Not ideal, but the Stunfisk is so low that I can just throw one foul play right here and be alright. Will we get to 2 earthquakes though? What? Oh yeah, I need 2 earthquakes. 1 rock slide wouldn't KO yet. I just throw the foul play right there. Kills from when he's in the red. And that's a good game. As you can see, beating double charmer lines, I think it's the most important thing of a team right now, just because I think they're very annoying. I think double charmer lines are so annoying, so I think every team I build from now on is gotta have to destroy those, just because I don't want to see them anyway. Just want to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, whatever, you know what to do. See you guys again in the next video. All right.